So 23.9 feet or inches? 9 inches, okay. And then for the jack rafter decrease? I was gonna say it can't be 1 foot 6 inches. Well, let's take a peek. Now, the one thing I didn't tell you is the spacing, but we're going to assume 2 foot on center. If I don't tell you, always assume 2 foot on center. So our first step that we have to find here is the common rafter. So to do that, we're going to sketch out the span of 38 feet. That's this span here, and that slope of 912. We'll find the height off of that 19-foot run. That height is found by doing math. Okay, that works. 9 over 12 equals h over 19. What do we get? 14 point something there? 14.25. Thank you. So h is 14.25. So then the common rafter is the square root of 19 squared plus 14.25 squared. Giving us 23.75, exactly. So this right here is 23.75 feet. This right here is 23.75 feet. While we're here, let's find that hip rafter. The hip rafter, this is 23.75 here. This is 19, half of the 38. So it'll be the square root of 19 squared plus 23.75 squared. $30.415. I'm getting the 23 foot 9 inches is the longest jack. That's the common rafter and the longest jack. The hip rafter, the corner rafter here, the hip is 30.5. What's that? That's the height. So if you're looking at our model here, the 14.25 is this right here. So the 23 foot 9 is this. This here is the 30.415. You're just one step away from it. Now that doesn't mean your jack rafter decrease is wrong necessarily. So we have that big triangle there. This is 23.75 and this is 19. And our next triangle here to get our next length is going to be what? X and 17. Very good. So we'll just set that up as 19 is to 17, as 23.75 is to X. You could have that upside down, wouldn't matter. Cross multiply and divide. 17 times 23.75 divided by 19. So you subtract, you get 1.5 feet or 1 foot 6 inches is correct. So that part you had. Any questions? Well, the 19 is from here. The height that you found was right here, going straight. Down to here? That's the 23.75. Yeah, we see what you gotta remember is the hypotenuse of one triangle becomes the leg of another. Like here's your height. This is the 14.25. This here is just 19, right? So you get this hypotenuse here of 23.75, but now that becomes a leg to find this. So the hypotenuse of one triangle becomes the leg of the next one. Yeah, yeah. It's the three-dimensional part being drawn on paper that kind of. Oh, sure. Yeah, because the slopes are the same, this is 19 feet. This is also 19 feet. The setbacks are the same. In fact, I might actually give you a problem set up. Do you have a question or just stretch it? Yeah. What's that? 2.5. You got her. Good catch. That's 2.5 feet. So it's 2 feet 6 inches. As long as I made the same mistake you did, we were okay. Right? In fact, no, I might actually give you, rather than telling you that the slopes are the same, I might actually give you a problem that looks like this. Where this is, I might tell you that this is a 10, 12 slope. I might tell you that this here is 32 feet. And I might give you here that the setback is 16 feet. Well, what does that tell us? That they're the same slope. So tell me what to do. I want to find that jack rafter decrease. And I'll find the hip rafter here in just a little bit. Where do I start? Common. What do I know about my common? $16-foot run off a 32-foot span, yep. 10-12 slope, not pitch. I know it's common to call it a pitch, but I won't be too picky. Finding the height. Perfect. 10 over 12 is h over 16. So h is what, 13.33. 13.33 feet, right? So then my common rafter is the square root of 13.33 feet squared plus 16 feet squared. Giving us 20.827 feet. So that's my common rafter. So this is 20.827. This is 20.827. How about my hip? What's the length of my hip? Square root of 20.827 plus, yeah, this here is technically 16 feet here, so plus 16 squared. Second square root, second answer squared plus 16 squared. 26.264, we're going to call that. Is my hip. Now my decrease. This is 16, this is 20.827. My next triangle is going to be what? 14 and x. So 16 to 14 is the same as 20.827 to x. Cross multiply and divide. So 20.827 times 14 divided by 16. 18.224, which is 2.603 feet. What's the decrease going to be over here? Over here. Same thing. So this difference here is going to be 2.603 feet. This difference here is going to be 2.603 feet. So they're going to match up on both sides. Today's task is what happens when they don't match up on both sides. Slope is different. Very good. It's very common to have a steeper slope on the hip end than it is on the main roof. You might have a 612 slope here and a 1212 slope there. So let's give you a span. Let's make it 30 feet, and let's go from there. So our steps are still the same, but we're going to add some steps in there because we have to do two different sides. So our first step is still the common rafter. (612) slope, 30-foot span. What do we do from there? Height and run. Run is 15. How do we find the height? 6 over 12 equals h over 15 gives us the h, 7.5. And then common is the square root of 15 squared plus 7.5 squared, correct? Okay, I just flew through that part, so I'm going to stop there. Anybody have any questions? Okay, we've done that part quite a few times so far in the last few days. So. Now that we have that, that is the length of the common rafter right here, 16.771 feet. Now, if I look over here at my longest jack, is that going to be 16.771 feet? No, because my slopes are not the same. This is going to be 15 feet here. Is this going to be 15 feet? No. So that's my second step, is going to be to find the setback. So if we look at the model here, what we just found was this triangle right here. We used this run, we found this height, we found this length. Now we're going here. We have this height right here. We're going to find this based off of that slope. So this is the triangle. This triangle right here is the one that we're looking at now. So let's see what we can find. So again, it's the one right here. And it looks like this. What's this height? 7.5 feet. What's our slope? 1212. So our setback here, which I'm going to call S, we got 1212 slope equals a height of 7.5 over a run of S. S is 7.5. Yes. The ratio of the setback should also equal the ratio of the slopes, by the way. This is a 1212 slope over a 612 slope. This is a 15 setback over a 7.5 setback. 12 is double 6, 15 is double 7.5. If that makes any sense. Okay, so we have the setback. Now we can find that longest hip. So the longest hip is going to be this right here. It's going to be the square root of 7.5 squared plus 7.5 squared. We get 10.607. Does that look right? Feet. So this is 10.607 feet. Now here's our hang up. The decrease is not the same on each side. So we have to find a separate decrease on each side. So we're going to find the decrease on the hip side first. So on the hip side, we have this triangle. It's 15 by 10.607. The next one would be what? 13 by x. You got it. So 15 over 13 equals 10.607 over x. I don't know why that disappeared. Cross multiply and divide. 10.607 times 13 divided by 15. We get 9.192, which is 1.415 feet of decrease. So that's the decrease on the hip side. Now we need the decrease on the main roof or the common side. On that side, remember this is the setback, 7.5 feet right here. And we have the 16.771 there. The next triangle, this is 5.5 by x. We'll be looking at putting it right here. So this is going to be 2 feet less here. 5.5 and this is x. So we have 7.5 over 5.5 equals 16.771 over x. Cross multiply and divide. We get 12.299. We subtract, we get 4.472 feet. What do you think? Good stuff? What's that? You do, and you got to draw them out. I mean, you got to draw, it's a lot of little diagrams, that whole two-dimensional, three-dimensional thing too. You've got pieces that are vertical, pieces that are flat, pieces that are sloped. Now, I didn't find the hip rafter here, but I could find the hip rafter from one of two directions. It doesn't matter. I could do, for the hip, I could do the square root of 10.607 squared plus 15 squared. That would give it to me from this side over here. Or I could do the square root of 16.771 squared plus 7.5 squared. That would be giving it to from this side over here. Both of those better come out to be, within round off errors of the same. Have a good one, Ben. I'm gonna have you guys try one in your notes here quick. What notes? I'm gonna take that away from you. Nope. Try to find the decrease on each side. So I'm going to pause there. You did. So let's find our common here. So how do we find our height? Perfect. 4 over 12 equals h over 20. Cross multiply and divide, we get 6.667. Perfect. Perfect. So our common 0.81, does that look right? 21.081. We're good so far? So that's this right here. Now, actually, right now, we have all the information we need to find the jack decrease on the main roof side, on the common side. We could find that. This would be 8, and we could go from there. That's only because I gave you the setback. If I gave you the slope, you'd have to work a little bit harder at it. We're going to come back and find that in a little bit. We want to find the length of that main jack. How do we find that longest jack? Yeah, we have a height of, yeah, we know that this height, the height here has to be the same as the height going the other way, right? And we know the setback is 10. $12.019. Perfect. So now from there, it's actually relatively simple to find the next part. Let's do this side first, which is, of course, this is how much? How much? 20, and this is going to be 18. So we've got 20 and 12.019, 18 and x. 20 over 18, 12.019 over x. Cross multiply and divide, what do we get for x? $10.817. We subtract, gives us 1.202 feet. On the main roof side, we've got 10 and 21.081, and we've got 8 and we'll call that y since we've already got an x. So we've got 10 over 8 equals 21.081 over y. We cross multiply and divide to get y, and y is 16.86 or 086? 86. Anybody go to 3 decimal places on that one? So 0.865. We subtract, you get 4.216 feet, correct? That thousandth of a foot could just, the house is going to come tumbling down. So I'm going to have you guys try this one. Same as the last one? No, that'd be no fun. This is going to be 412 here. This is going to be 1012. And I'm going to give you that this is 38. Okay, so common. What do we have here? So 4 over 12, h over 19, x over 19, however you want to do it. Cross multiply and divide, we get what for h? Four times 19 divided by 12 should be 6 1/3. So we got our common of 20.028 feet. So that here is 20.028. Now from that, now we're going to look at the jack. What do we know about our jack? Of course, it's 6 1/3 feet. So this is our setback. And we know that we have a 10-12 slope. So 10 over 12 equals 6.33 for the setback. So 6.33 times 12 divided by 10. It is a setback of 7.600. Then, of course, we can get this distance here, that longest jack, square root of 6.333 squared plus 7.600 squared. $9.893 feet. So I'm just going to take the proportion right out of here instead of drawing out the triangles. I've got 19 to 17, the same way that 9.893 is over x. So we'll cross multiply and divide. 9.893 times 17 divided by 19 gives us 8.851 is 1.042 feet. On the hip side, on the main roof side, this of course is going to be 5.600. So we're going to have 7.6 to 5.6. Did I do something wrong? Okay. Is the 20.028 over y. Call this y. $20.028 times 5. I'm not going to type them in, that's for sure. 14.757. From the engineering side of me, I leave them in there when I write it out because that tells whoever's looking at that that really is down to the thousandth of a foot. That isn't just a tenth of a foot. Yes. So I get 5.271 feet on the main roof side. What do you think? The hip rafter? Well, I'm going to do it two ways. I'm going to make sure we get it the same both ways. 19 squared plus 9.893 squared. One of the ways to check it is to do the hip rafter both ways. So if I do it from the hip side, I get 21.421. If I do it from the main roof side, I've got 7.6 squared plus 20.028 squared. Hopefully I get the same answer there. And we do. We get 20.422. It's within round off errors. So 21.421 is the hip rafter. Yeah. Watch your mouth, guys. I'm gonna give you one a little bit easier. Try this one quick. Okay, so for this one, our common, we have 42 feet. Gentlemen, 912 slope. For H, we got 21. You got it. So what do you get for H? 15.75. It kind of is. So you got the square root of 21 squared plus 15.75 squared gives you, which is 26.25 feet. So this is 26.25. Sure. So this is 21. The next one here is going to be at 19. We'll call that X. 21 over 19 equals 26.250 over X. So cross multiply and divide, you get 23.750, which is 2.5 feet. There you go. I've got a worksheet I'm going to give you guys to work on. Don't forget to keep working in the packet. That truss packet. You should be doing up to number 60 in that packet.